marks the brow of Napoleon Bonaparte with a new sacred oil. Napoleon is magnificent. He's wearing ermine, silk, and diamonds. He stuns the crowd by seizing the golden crown and putting it on his own head. 15 years before Napoleon crowned himself emperor, revolution had broken out in France in 1789. That revolution would last for 10 years. At first, the French anticipated sharing power with their king. But eventually, they overthrew him and attempted to build a democratic republic in which every man had a share in power. The revolution was radical. The revolutionaries also attacked the church. They abolished the privileged world of aristocrats. They tried to institute social and legal equality in many ways. In the process, they unleashed the terror and then resurrected their republic. The revolutionaries' attempt to institute representative democracy and equality was flawed, but it changed the modern Western world forever. And when the revolution couldn't deliver all that it promised, it produced still another political experiment. In 1799, the Corsican general, Napoleon Bonaparte, staged a coup d'etat. He seized control of the fragile revolutionary republic. Before long, he had made himself Emperor of France, and then Emperor of a huge swath of Europe. This course explores this astonishing and pivotal period of European history. This lecture will introduce some themes of the course, and then we'll take a look at the French monarchy, at Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette. At the heart of this course lies an important question. What happens when a people living in a deeply hierarchical society and a traditional monarchy try to invent modern democratic politics and an egalitarian society of rights-bearing citizens? How do you wrench the modern out of the old? Before we spend 48 lectures answering that question, I should introduce myself. My name is Suzanne Desan. I've devoted my career to studying the French Revolutionary era. This era, its actors, its dreams, its politics, its tragedies, it just won't let me go. I seem to be addicted to the French Revolution. In college, I wrote my first serious research paper about a revolutionary journalist named Camille Desmoulins. He was audacious enough to call for an end to the terror. At the time, I thought he was heroic and idealistic. I realized later that his motives were much more complicated, but I still named my first laptop after him. In my own research, I have focused the most on those places where the revolution touched the intimate lives of ordinary people, religion, the family, daily life. I still remember opening my first carton of documents from the French Revolution at the National Archives in Paris. I was just a 24-year-old American student, and I couldn't believe they would let me touch those pages. I was thrilled. Of course, I couldn't read them at first, but 18th century handwriting is actually pretty easy. And before long, I was busy trying to figure out how French citizens lived the revolution. Thousands of other historians have been just as intrigued by this era. Take Napoleon Bonaparte. Apparently, there are more books and articles published about him than there are days since he died. That makes tens of thousands of studies on Bonaparte alone. Why have so many people been powerfully drawn to examining this period of history? For one thing, the revolutionary and Napoleonic era undeniably had a cataclysmic and lasting impact on all kinds of realms: politics, social relations, religion, war, empire building, the intellectual and literary world. Europe would never be the same. Other parts of the world, especially the Caribbean and the Americas, also felt the impact. So the revolutionary and Napoleonic era shaped the modern world in historically specific ways that we'll look at. But at the same time, this era fascinates us because the actors dealt with such timeless human problems. There's something deeply compelling about the rawness of this moment of history. It lays bare humanity at its most idealistic and its most tragic.